Donald Cortez Cornelius was an American television show host and producer who was best known as the creator of Soul Train, a nationally syndicated dance and music show which he hosted from 1971 until 1993. He used Soul Train to introduce to TV viewers many artists that became some of the biggest names in the music industry, much like American Bandstand did. But Don's show was used as a TV platform for soul music, as there was no TV programming that was exclusively for soul music at that time. Americans from many walks of life tuned in week after week to see the hottest soul and R&B acts and to learn the latest dance moves. And Soul Train became a show that was talked about for decades to come. In 2008, Don Cornelius sold the show to private equity investors. And just a few years later, he passed away after he took his own life. But before he died, he was desperately trying to finish his divorce, seemingly so that his wife, who he reportedly despised, wouldn't be entitled to a huge payday at the time of his death. She was still able to get over $2 million, even though they were divorced when he ended his life in 2012. This video is a brief breakdown of how Don's ex-wife walked away with his money. Let's get into it. But first, if you like these videos about your favorite and most scandalous celebrities from yesteryear, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, on to why you are here. Don Cornelius married Victoria Chapman in 2001. Not much is documented about the beginning of their marriage, so perhaps there was a honeymoon phase at the beginning, but there is documented proof that by the end of it, Don Cornelius was arrested for domestic abuse against her, and she had filed restraining orders against him. Don Cornelius was a man who built an empire that, at its core, was focused on soul music and, at the start, black dancers. He was a visionary and created something that TV audiences had never seen before. He was a businessman. Victoria Chapman, on the other hand, was a retired adult film actress in search of a sucker who could get her life on easy street. How lucky for her that she crossed paths with Don Cornelius. Mr. Love, Peace, and Soul wed Mrs. Lust over a piece of her whole. Where were his standards? Don's relationship with Victoria was brutal. He married her in 2001. In 2007, she filed for divorce from him. The divorce was finalized in 2009, but the time between the filing and the finalization was difficult, to say the least. In 2008, Don Cornelius was arrested at his Mulholland Drive home on suspicion of domestic violence. He appeared in court on November 14, 2008, charged with spousal abuse, and pleaded not guilty before changing his plea to no contest in 2009. He was sentenced to 36 months of probation. Now, when he was charged, he also said that his wife pepper sprayed him multiple times. It seems that no one believed him or no one cared, because the only one who was arrested, charged, convicted, and sentenced in that domestic dispute was Don. It was during this period when Victoria filed the 2 restraining orders against Don also. She was careful to keep everything documented. During the divorce proceedings in 2009, legal documents obtained by TMZ show that Don said, quote, "I am 72 years old. I have significant health issues. I want to finalize this divorce before I die," end quote. That sounds like a man who has lost all of the fight in him. And that could explain why the wife he despised was able to walk away with over $2 million. He just wanted the divorce to be over rather than to put up a fight for his assets. So there was a provision in the divorce settlement agreement stating that Don must make Victoria the beneficiary of both of his life insurance policies. That gave her 2 quick paydays totaling around $300,000. Now, most of us are aware of how Don died. He took a gun and put it to his head, right? And under California law, if an insurance policyholder commits suicide within 2 years of the date that the policy is issued, the company can deny payment. But Don had the policy for more than 2 years, so Victoria, the woman who he just couldn't stand to see anymore, got the financial benefit from him taking his own life. But I said 3 paydays and over $2 million, right? Remember that home on Mulholland Drive from earlier in this story? The one where Don was arrested on suspicion of domestic violence? Well, it seems that Victoria had the papers needed to sell Don's property after his death. So she got another huge payday from something that people didn't realize that she had all along. It turns out, Don's house went up for sale after his death, with its asking price at $2.295 million. When the sale was closed, it was purchased for $1.85 million in 2018, and it was sold by none other than his ex-wife, Victoria. With this money-making move, her total grab was $2.15 million. She met Don when she was looking for a way to not have to go back to being in adult films. If she plays her cards right, Don can rest in peace and she can rest her peace, or her lady parts, from here on out. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe so that you can see more of your favorite celebrity scandals from yesteryear. I'll see you on the next video.